Going on, everybody? I'm Josh with Combat Sports Today. I'm joined today by Mackenzie Stiller. How's it going today?
I'm good. How are you?
No, can't complain. It's the weekend, so I'm off of work. Congratulations on your last fight, that first round Bulldog choke at LFA217. Congratulations. That was a wicked submission.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Can you just walk us through that submission? Kind of how you got to that setup and eventually got her out of there.
So basically, what what you got to look for is people on their hands and knees, and then that's when you just sink in like a rear naked and sit out.
The commentators and everyone's like, yeah, she's probably just going to end up going out if she doesn't tap. Did you know you fully had that in? Because I mean, that's something we don't see too often, is that bulldog choke.
I knew I had it in. I had it in with the S grip towards the end, so
Yeah,
I
yeah.
definitely felt like it was there because I felt her body extending.
Like I said, it looked very wicked as a visual from somebody watching the fight. I'm just gonna give the people a quick background, real quick, to run through some things to catch them up if this is the first time they're coming across you. You turned pro in 2023. You're currently 5-1 as a pro, 4 subs, 3 in the first round. Your first 2 pro fights were actually under the Bellator banner, which is pretty cool. So kudos, hats off
Thank you.
there. You went 4-0 as an Ami on the first round. The Ignite fight strawweight champion, if I do believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. I just trying to make sure I get everything going. There's a lot that I'm pretty sure you have a lot more accolades in the judo and other
Mhm.
things. And since we're talking about your background, what got you in? What was your beginnings into the combat sports journey, and what made you decide to be a fighter?
So I started judo when I was 8 years old. And then I also started jujitsu when I was 13 and wrestling when I was 15 years old, high school wrestling. And I just trained all my life, those sports. And I didn't get into MMA until I met my boyfriend, Juan. And yeah, he also fights. Those are his pictures up there.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So, but yeah, as soon as I met him, he introduced us to our coach Brett, and it was just like I just tried it because they wanted me to, and I ended up liking it.
Awesome. And it seems kind of, it was a kind of a no-brainer. Like you said, you were in wrestling, judo, jujitsu, pretty much growing up. So you were just kind of grew up in combat sports, it seems. So
Hmm.
it seems like a pretty natural transition into MMA.
Definitely.
So a lot of people seem to be comparing you to Ronda Rousey, or saying you're probably the next Ronda. How do you feel about, living up to those shoes? I mean, the evidence is there with all these submissions and the fight style.
Um, I agree with them to a certain extent. Ronda Rousey never had the best hands, and I'm not even scratching the surface of my striking potential. So my striking is just gonna get better each time. So I feel like I'm gonna be like Ronda Rousey, but like with better hands.
Like the next generation Ronda, because everybody's
Yeah,
leveling up. The next generation seems to just
evolved.
be way more evolved than just the last generation of fighters. It's crazy, the evolution of the sport, it seems.
Hmm.
And currently your pace is about 2 fights a year. This was your second fight of this year. Are you looking to get back into the cage this year, or is there any hints you can give us today?
Um, I don't see why not because I'm not damaged, and I didn't take any damage in the fight. So, I mean, I don't see why not. So I'm just gonna start training like I'm in fight camp again and see what happens.
I was looking on the Tapology, and I've seen a couple flyweight bouts on there. Are there any thoughts on moving back up, or is that kind of out the window for now?
For now, no, because I am really small for that division. Like I walk around at like 133 when I'm completely disciplined, and I felt a little heavier fighting at 125. Like I don't know, like I had to carry more compared to strawweight, and I don't know. I just feel more fresh at strawweight, and the girls are actually my size, and not two of me, basically when they're all fueled up again.
And kind of leaning in on that, Women's atomweight, is that a weight class you would like to see, become more popular here in the States? Because it doesn't seem, I think Invicta may be one of the only organizations here that kind of does the 105 category.
Um, I think that it wouldn't be a bad idea, but the problem is that there's not that many, so it's kind of hard to keep a division there when there's not a lot of fighters who weigh that much to fight. You know.
Uh, just to kind of circle back on your Bellator experience, like I said, your first two pro fights were with Bellator, and that was pre-buyout with Bellator. And I believe you had a fight with them after the buyout. Is there any difference, that you could see your experience wise, pre and post buyout with Bellator slash PFL?
Yes. I mean, I've had a bunch of people come up to me saying that I improved a lot in this last fight. My coaches told me I felt a lot more calm. I wasn't like tense at all. And like those fights with Bellator, I was like kind of tense and like I would get overwhelmed easier, you know, because I think we had to go pro very, very fast. So I think I was just building my experience, and then finally I'm able to use it now in my sixth fight.
And kind of like leaning on that Bellator experience because that was, kind of is a big promotion, especially before the buyout. That was one of the bigger tier, organizations, and you making your debut on such a grand stage. Does that kind of help settle your nerves when you are fighting at like LFA or any other promotion that's not at the Bellator level with all those eyes? And
I don't really mind the eyes at all. Like, you know, I'm so used to competing in front of hundreds of people already. So it's just like they're in the background and I'm in the cage. But I mean, I don't really get like nervous per se. Like I get like I know a couple fights I did, but this last one and past the one past few after before this one, I didn't feel nervous at all. I was just ready to go in calm.
and you said you are looking to kind of get back into the cage this year. And if that doesn't happen, would you be down for like a higher profile grappling match? Since the UFC BJJ and the other promotions doing all this grappling and other things that have a bunch of eyes on. Is that something you'd be open to just get more eyes on your name?
Yeah. If there's ever an opportunity and I'm able to do that, and I don't see why I wouldn't try it, so I would definitely consider something like that.
And just kind of tilling into that, what is your ideal path into the UFC, and what is your message to the UFC brass?
Oh, how well! I'm just gonna keep being a good dominant fighter with the LFA, and then I'm sure things are gonna come naturally with the UFC, and then I don't know. I'm gonna go in there and clean out the first girls I have to get top 15, and then from there work my way up to championship. Maybe like a few years.
Your resumes, speaking for itself. You're exactly what the UFC is looking for with, finishers and exciting fighters. And like I said, you have to be right on the cusp. LFA is one of the great feeder promotions into the UFC. Sounds you're right along the path of right where you're wanting to, align your fighting career. Just to kind of wrap things up, I got a couple of things that are kind of outside the fighting realm ish. What are your top three most current played songs on your preferred music app currently, if you can think of them off the top of your head?
Um, I use Pandora, so it's random. It's never the same songs, but I like Red Hot Chili Peppers station and the NF station is what I usually listen to.
Awesome. And what kind of goes into your walkout song of choice?
Um, I just think it's pretty gangster. Matches my gold tooth.
Put your mind in like you're in training camp. What is the food that you miss most while you're in training camp and cutting weight?
I really enjoy pizza.
Ah,
Oh yeah.
pizza's great. What is your go-to pizza order? Like your favorite type of pizza?
Oh man, I like everything, but I like a good vegetable pizza a lot on thin crust with extra cheese.
Nice. And I gotta ask, pineapple on pizza, sin or not a sin?
Um, it is good sometimes, but I would never order it. I never eat it on pizza, but I've had it. It's not that bad.
Like if it's there, you'll have it. But the last thing I got for you was, what's something you kind of do to get your mind away from fighting and the fight game if you just need to recenter yourself?
Um, I just like hanging out with my boyfriend and like hanging out with our cat together, lounging and watching movies on our like days we need to rest.
What's one of your you guys' like top movies you've probably watched in like the past couple of months?
Oh, I can't think of them. Um, I like this one movie, but I really forgot what it's called. Um, I'm sorry.
It's
Just
probably because I put you on the spot and asked. Like
yeah.
if I didn't ask, you would exactly know what it is. So it's probably
We
one
watch
of
a
those
lot of
situations.
anime. We watch a lot of anime.
Awesome. I know we have a lot of guys on our team at Combat Sports today that are big anime fans. What are you
Mhm.
guys' favorite anime, or if you guys are currently binging one currently?
We're watching Solo Leveling right now. That one's good. We always love a good Demon Slayer. Um, the anime Dantadan, the new one on Netflix or a Crunchyroll as well, is pretty good. So I like those.
Awesome. And the last thing I really do have for you before I let you go is, do you got any loved ones, sponsors, training partners, coaches you want to give a special shout out real quick?
Yeah, I'll shout out my family, my coaches, teammates. Also shout out my sponsors. I can't think of them on top of my head. I'm sorry, but you know who you are. I love you, and yeah, thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.